Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce the winner of the most part of the match.
Yeah, welcome back here to the Stade Agadir. Egypt trails Zimbabwe a goal to nil. Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 and the opening Group B encounter. Interesting tussle, a very interesting tussle so far. We thought Egypt would be, well, just flying out of the starting blocks and with all of the talent they've got on the pitch. But in fact, they've been caught flat-footed with some wonderful play. Prince Dubé's the man wearing the number 7 on his shirt. The young Africans player based in Tanzania getting the only goal. A wonderful slick pass from July. Control in the penalty box. Spin and shot. Amanda Dlamini. Absolute world-class strike that really was, and wonderful control. As we've got one change. So Bon is the player who's going to come on. And just the one change there, it's Corley Bon of Maiden and Tiptree, 30 years of age, born in Ipswich, as we get the second half going. And it is Washington Navaya, who the centre forward playing in his first match for Zimbabwe, who has been replaced. Amanda, sorry, I do finally get to you.
It has been a very interesting first half for Egypt. I thought wasted opportunities. They were under control. They were pinning the Zimbabweans back, but of course the Zimbabweans just stuck to their guns, soaking up the pressure. That low block became very difficult to break.
Yeah, and absolutely, and it's interesting to see what will happen now, because it's wake up time for Hossam Hassan, the 59-year-old coach of this Egyptian team, because there's a lot of pressure on a coach of the Egyptian team. It's always been the same case, if we go back to Hassan Shahata and everybody who's, even Bob Bradley, they've all had stints trying to work their magic. It hasn't been everybody's cup of mint tea, is it?
Yep.
Good ball, good pass. Trezeguet tries to find a little bit of space. The shot doesn't happen. Left side, and the danger that we've been watching in the first half from Sendami. Lovely little spin turn, and they will pick up possession. He's looking for a reaction from the referee from Senegal, Issassi. Nothing.
Sendami is one of those players that are easy to go down, but I think in this match he shows great strength, really trying to stay on his feet to beat his marker. But of course, if it is that you're facing the likes of Atia, they're definitely going to pull you down.
You can see that Atia with his arms up in the air as Egypt push forward once again. And big fan of Mustafa Mohamed, the Ligue 1 player based at Nantes. Is Marmouche. First touch not brilliant there, but still picked up there by Mustafa Mohamed. Good work with Trezeguet picking the ball up. Trezeguet puts it on his right foot, tries to get that shot in. Again, too much traffic. And, it does come to a standstill when you're trying to shoot through traffic.
Absolutely. I feel like the Egyptians are getting a little bit desperate. They should be able to work a little bit harder.
That's a good ball from Hamdi down to Trezeguet. Trezeguet, he gets the ball back. Here's Hamdi, wing back, pulls it back across. There's no one there. And again, you can see that the organisation of these guys at the back, it's not just Nakamba, but it's also Takwara, Garananga, of course. These guys, they're vigilant and they're very diligent.
Yeah, they're not easy to break. They're communicating very well.
And they're finding it quite complicated at the moment to try and deal with that. Atia gets the ball back across lots of time and space. Hani gets his ball over to that far side, has been picked up, and there's the delivery coming in. The attempted header there coming in from Mustafa Mohamed doesn't happen. Picked up here by Zimbabwe. Dealing with that just over on that far side there with that man Dubé. Complicated. A little bit of hands up, a little bit of contact there from Bonnet and Corley Bonnet, former Leyton Orient player, big 90 matches and 45 goals. QPR Ipswich, of course, a player with a lot of experience, now playing for Malden and Tiptree, 30 years of age. Bring on a player, and in this situation, you want him to replace the player who's already been providing his team with options. And I think that, it's a tactical move there by Mario Maranicha, of course, who makes that kind of tactical change because he wants something to happen. But they've already got a 1-0 lead, which is a wonderful place for them to be.
It is indeed. I think it eases the pressure as well, because the expectation coming into this game was for the Egyptians to be the ones on the front foot, to be leading the game, dominating the ball possession as they have. But it's always just about who takes their chances, and I think Zimbabwe created an open chance and they utilized it.
Surging forward, Egypt, little touch there, nicely done. Marmouche keeps hold of possession. There's an overlap if he needs it with Hani. It's lofted into the penalty box. It goes over the top and away from Mustafa Mohamed, who's just hoping that he can get on the end of it. And a look in the eye line of Mo Salah, saying, we're trying to make this work, but what can we do to make it work?
And it's not working. I mean, I meant that the Egyptians need to work a little bit harder. They usually play in between the lines. They want to break those lines, playing in the half spaces, the mobility, but they haven't been doing that. They're choosing for the long ball option to get those aerial duels, which is not working for them.
Yeah, sometimes keep the ball on the ground. I think that they've got those creative players who can provide us with those probing passes, but it doesn't have to be over the top. They need to just, maybe work their magic on the ground at the moment. There's the pass that goes through to Mustafa Mohamed, and again you can see that Mo Salah tries to get that little touch to him. Oh, there's a bit of contact there with Sendami. This is the eye of the referee, but the fact is that it's Mo Salah. I want to see him move a little bit more into that centre field, roam a bit more across from the right. Cause you press all of the panic buttons when you've got Mo Salah who's dribbling in a different position that we normally see him. Get him across a little bit, kick up a stink, as they like to say. Here we go. There's the delivery. It's a brilliant ball, and it's just not been latched onto there by Mustafa Mohamed. And again, you can see that they were there in position. The ball goes out of play. Look at that for a delivery there coming from Hamdi.
Beautiful ball, just with a nice curl to it. Any touch, even if it was from the opposition, would have turned it into the net. But once again, the centre-back position, or the pairing of Takwara and Garananga, absolutely brilliant.
Mustafa Mohamed unable to latch onto that. Went for his right foot, whereas your first leg that's going to make contact is your left. That's why I sometimes say, you get to see, who has that capacity of playing with both feet when you get crosses like that are searching crosses that we just talked about. As Omar Marmouche gets the ball over to the right-hand side, it's not happened there, and we find ourselves with Egypt at the back, and again trying to create, trying to build, trying to pass, trying to find space, and trying not to look too panicked. In fact, not the case so far. Still plenty of time on the clock as Trezeguet just gets knocked down by July. They got a free kick here. Now I wonder what kind of delivery they'll produce here, just knowing that these are the kind of situations you work on in the training ground. You want to drill the ball and have that movement. You got the bus cue. Let's see how this works. Intrigued to see how it functions here, Amanda.
Yeah, but also the defensive organization from Zimbabwe, they are waiting for the ball to come to the top, but they should be anticipating anything.
So Abdel Salam Hussam, 6'4", put your man Mountain up there. Get him to latch onto this. We're in the Atlas Mountains nearly, so come on, another mountain is fine.
Get a second ball and then try and do something.
Yes, exactly. Marmouche, Mo Salah. if Mo Salah's going to take a short pass and he's going to go for it. I don't know. There's Marmoush. Marmoush gets the ball over. There's a chance for a header again. There's a chance for a follow-up shot there, dealt with by Garananga. And it's Egypt back into the penalty box. Excellent defensive work there. Two very clinical headers to clear the danger.
They deal very well with the first phase of defense, and that's to clear their lines. They deal with the second ball as well, which has been a real threat for the Zimbabweans.
Atia, plenty of time. Ball over to the right-hand side. Abed Hani loves to dart up that right side, constantly active. Fatty. There's a ball. Trezeguet goes looking for it. It's fallen loosely. There's a shot. Great save there from Ruby. And a lot of traffic there, but still gets his shot in. He's mad about his defence because Omar Mamouche was given a little glimpse, a little keyhole of an opportunity, and he took it, pushes the ball forward. There's the shot. It was going towards goal. Not too happy with the defenders getting in the way because they've been queuing up previous to that, and they weren't there on that occasion. There's a delivery header, and it's a follow-up header. There's a chance. Calls for handball. Arui picks the ball up, and they're racing back to try and defend as Sendami goes looking to latch onto that. The Egyptian fans making sure that the referee can hear the whistling sound. That's not the wind anymore that's coming off the tops of the Atlas Mountains because it's died down. It is actually the Egyptian supporters. Ball back to Atia. Atia tries to get his threaded through ball there towards Trezeguet. Doesn't find its way. Picked up down the right-hand side. They go on a little bit of a move and July gets knocked down by Atia. Atia already picked up a yellow card. He'll get another warning there. It's not ideal if he picks up a second yellow. Let's have a look at this. Does that get touched by the hand? Well, it comes off Garananga's right side, doesn't it?
It definitely takes the sting off of that header, but really was it threatening, and that's for the referee's discretion and for VAR to decide.
As we see that bit of contact with Atia, who's walking on thin ice. Not something we see down here on the beaches of Agadir, of course. Beautiful sunshine, 340 days of sunshine a year just to promote the place because it's beautiful. The referee will come across. There's a time-wasting card that's been shown. A little bit of frustration there. You've got to get on with it, even if you're not too sure what you're going to do, but you have 3 run-ups. You've got to get the first 2 right at least, otherwise you will find yourself in a bit of bother. The touch, Zimbabwe pushing forward. It's been dealt with there by Abdel Salem Hossam. There's Mustafa Mohammed. Nice touch. Egypt pushing forward. Mohammed still in possession. Manages to get a little touch there off the marvellous Nakamba, the captain. Plays for Luton Town, of course. That's the scoreline here. 12 minutes into the second half. Possession going back into the hands. There you go, that's the contact on Mo Salah. That's a nasty challenge, isn't it? You know, you don't want to get in there, but teenage Hadebe, centre-back, that's normally what he does, isn't it? He's just been dragged down to the left-hand side, but he has to deal with Mo Salah. But there are ways of dealing with forwards rather than that. Trezeguet in the little corner there. The delivery comes over. Dangerous delivery. The defender's coming to the fore. It's been tidied up at the back. And here's the goal scorer, Prince Dube. Lovely little ball to the right-hand side. Just a little bit overcooked. And goes out of play with Egypt and Atia collecting. We're not getting to that crazy, panicky, frenzy moment, but it's not far away, is it? Where Egypt have to push. They have to just do something, click. And it's not clicking at the moment just yet. Trezeguet. Out wide, he's got an option. Hani's screaming for the ball down that right outside. The delivery of the fine crosses comes over. And Mustafa Mohamed, it's been picked up. There's a chance for Omar Mamouche. Puts it on his right foot. Puts it on his right foot. Gets the shot deflection out for a corner. And look at that. Takwara putting their bodies on the line. The Warriors. That's what they do. That's how they play.
Yep. That's the resilience that you need, especially when the Egyptians are looking for that equalizer. Mamouche, great composure, tries to unleash a shot. But Takwara, like you say, puts his body on the line.
Here's the delivery coming over. Gets towards the front post, but again it's cleared. Zim walk away. Fans making a lot of noise with stadium looking very full at the moment. And Washington Arubi at the back, hoping that he doesn't concede a goal. El Shenawi coming up to send that ball up. It's collected there by Mohamed Hamdi. There's Hani linking up with Fati. The ball goes out. It's Zimbabwe. They'll be quite happy, just taking the sting out of this game. They're just watching the Egyptians get frustrated. You don't want to see those. The Egyptian supporters, they don't want to see the flailing arms of their players, thrown up in the air, the frustration. They want to see composure. They want to see calm. They want to know that these guys are controlled enough to actually react and hit back.
Absolutely. They need to find that control once again. They need to find that rhythm into their game. I think they've lost that. But of course, there's still some players, I think, the likes of Zizou, Sabir also on the bench that might come in and spark a little bit of fire for the Egyptians. But at the moment, they really need some creativity.
Yeah, Zizou, a wonderful player, of course. We saw him play for Zamalek. Now he plays for Al Ahly. And, he's on the bench, of course, but he has got the intricate skill system that can work its magic here. And he so often produces great crosses, but also scores great goals as well. Wonderful player. 21 shots to 5. You can see that Zim are the team that have taken advantage, who have got the lead. There's Bod with a shot that comes in. El Shenawi gets his hands to it, takes the sting out of it, and then pounces on it.
But look at that great vision from Dube. Doesn't really overcomplicate things. First turn, direct ball, first pass forward. Bono with a good touch, a good shot to really try and trouble El Shenawi.
Macaulay Bod, again, the player that we've said needs to be present, needs to get up there, needs to assist Daniel Msandami, who's been a bit quiet for the last few minutes, but picks up the ball here, squares the ball into the middle. His chance, just knocked off the ball, but he's picked the ball up, and he's in prime position, dispossessed, sterling work at the back, and you can see that important intervention was key for the Pharaohs.
Yeah, and by the looks of things, the second half is certainly going to be dominated by those turnovers, the desperation from the Egyptians to get the equalizer, but also the transition attack from the Zimbabweans is quite interesting.
Really exciting, isn't it, when they get hold of the ball? It's like, wow, where are they going to go now? Well, they're moving forward. This is Egypt on the attack. And I like the way that Sendami is moving left and right, doesn't stay stationary. Here's Atia, tries to track that ball, get his right foot behind it and lift it up, but it was kind of headed towards no man's land. It wasn't, you hit the high ball towards Mohamed Stafford. I think that you've got to say why, do something a little bit different. Here's Bod once again. Macaulay Bod gets his shot across, and he's providing his team with some excellent firepower, some attacking prowess, and excellent work just to deal with the big man Hossam at the back. Puts it on his right foot, just doesn't really strike the ball as well as he would have wanted.
Yeah, he shakes off initially that duel, but of course on the turn he did it on the left hand side. Now he's coming back on the right side. He's looking for that corner at the bottom. And I think El Shenawi should really
look at that. 4-6-3 to 71. But on the attack now. Mamouche! 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 Magic Mamouche! The strike that has put the Pharaohs back in business. The drive that left Washington Arubi startled, unable to deal with it. What a strike!
Oh,
What a response! What an equaliser!
what an equalizer. And that's how you have to respond if you are the Pharaohs. A moment of individual brilliance from Mamouche has certainly been the live wire for the Egyptians. Good control on the turn. Wastes no time, picks a spot and sends it to the roof. No chance for Ruby.
That was a roof rocket! Driven high, blasted in after some deft touches. The Man City man has finally given the people of Egypt an equaliser. After 7,000 passes that they put together. It's a little bit less than that, but crikey.
Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. For the likes of Mamouche to work just a little bit harder. Rotation and drifting of those positions, finding those spaces, moving in and out of those positions, creating openings. And that's exactly what you need, the mobility, playing in the half spaces, playing in between the lines.
He's a world-class player, we know it. Putting him back. Master stroke from Hossam Hassan.
Yeah.
Let's give him credit. You know, he's understood that one, Mohamed Mustafa is not just a tall centre forward causing problems, he's also a decoy.
Yeah.
And put Mamouche back in the position. Oh, it's a good strike that is coming from Mustafa Mohamed. Nearly driving it in, a little bit of a touch there, but fine shot indeed with that right foot. It's curling around, it's sneaking around, it can't quite find the back of the net corner.
Absolutely brilliant. Just using Garananga as a pivoting point just to curl the ball.
There we go, the corner comes right across. There's the back header there coming from Hossam. Player down, Prince Dubé's down on the ground, and his goalkeeper getting up gingerly.
Yeah, just stopping Ruby in his tracks. Stopping him from launching an immediate attack.
Okay, here we go. We got Zizou coming on, of course. And Trezeguet will come off. And Adel will come on as well. Fratia. Watch out. I mean, just watch out. Zizou, such a big fan of this guy. You know, danger galore when Zizou comes onto the pitch. Seen him play for Zamalek. Seen him just create so many wonderful moves with the wizardry that he has.
Yep.
His deft touch, his ability to dribble past players and the crosses. And Adel is going to be very important as well in that midfield. Two key players coming on after two pretty strong performances from Trezeguet. Trezeguet maybe a little bit less than he normally does. He's at 80% today, whereas normally gets himself in that defence and causes more problems.
Yeah, but also if the coach is going to substitute Ashura in the first half, that is a combination that usually clicks for Trezeguet. Now it's a new combination of Zizou coming in to really try and make sure that he gets the team ticking.
Yeah, it's all about how they tick, and this is Zizou with his first touch. He'll come back, he'll collect, he'll race out to the right side. Here he is. They love him in Egypt, of course. It's Zizou finding a little bit of space out to the right-hand side. Mo Salah, and they'll be working together as well. They know how to communicate. There's no doubt about that. Picked up there with Fati. Ball picked up. There he is. Zizou gets the block there coming in from that man, showing up, Fabish. Midway through the second half, Egypt 1, Zimbabwe 1. Zim getting a 20th minute goal through Prince Dubé, the young African's midfielder. The equaliser came from Omar Mamouche with a rocket shot. Wow. The net didn't rip. Zizou out to the right-hand side. Mo Salah. Mo, is he going to go on a little wander? Or Mohamed Hani, he gets the ball back to Zizou. Zizou, left foot, right foot. You never know with him. He can juggle. There's the lofted ball. Goes over towards Salah. It goes out for a throw-in. Good work from Hadib. He's come across, isn't he? He's had to shift into that.
Yeah.
In a left-back position, not easy.
Yep, had to get that crucial touch. Mo Salah's lurking just behind.
No one likes a lurking Mo Salah if you're playing against him. That's a good ball. That's a nice little touch, that is. The danger man picks it up once again. From Mamouche. Here's Adel. First touch. Gets the ball over. It's headed away. And, well, it's just not been cleared. Don't give it to Mamouche if you're a Zimbabwe player. Danger will come your way. Nice touch. Yasser doing well to get the ball to the right-hand side. Here's Hani, Zizou, Salah, far post. Their players lurking. Adel's at the far post. There's the ball that comes across. Oh, the bullet header there from Mustafa Mohamed. Well, if that was on target, Arubi would have gone in with the ball.
Yeah, it's the movements for me from Mustafa. Beating those two centre-backs, shakes them off. But Garanga, of course, is always just there to make sure that you don't get an easy header.
Was that Hussam Hassan complaining that he didn't score the goal? He's saying, oh, I would have done that during my days. Come on, give him a break, will you? Hussam Hassan, we know what you did, but he's a brilliant player, isn't he, Mustafa Mohamed? And they're working again. That's a good overlap, that is. Hani trying to get there first, gets the ball, there's the delivery. Adel can't get on the end of it. Mamouche tries to get a connection there, doesn't happen. And the ball being picked up here by that man Hamdi, dispossessed, picked up once again, and collected by Hamdi Fati, the Wakra player based in Qatar. Mohamed Hani. Oh, dispossessed, a little touch there, but Sendami doesn't manage to get hold of that, otherwise danger. Would he be looking? Oh, he's pinched the ball. Sneaky play, but there is a whistle that's been blown by Issa C of Senegal for that little bit of contact on Ahmed Yasser. There you go, a little bit of contact from behind. Picked up again, Egypt. Salah. That's not the right pass. Perfectly pinched by Prince Dube. Sendami gets the ball back out. Oh, he's just unable to bring that across. He goes down, there's a bit of contact. And it's in the last chance saloon before he gets a card. You get the impression there, Ahmed Yasser. Well, there's a little bit of everything in that, isn't there?
Yeah, very deliberate. He knew that once Sendami gets on that turn, he's gone. Professional foul, I would say.
You're throwing your hat in the ring there, aren't you? It was a good foul, wasn't it? I mean, he definitely made a statement foul. He's saying, you're not going to get past me. That's what I'm going to do to you. It's what those guys at centre-back position do. Just shows what kind of a danger he is. And Sendami is going to come off, and strong performances indeed. Sendami will make way. And Chiroa, watch out. Wonderful player. Prince Dube goes off as well. And on will come Prosper Pradera of Senajoki, plays in Finland. Well, Chiroa, I think we need to watch out for him. He's the danger man that I was talking about. Joanda Chiroa, Wolverhampton Wanderers Premier League player, 22 years of age. His first African Cup of Nations, as we see that there's been 19 shots inside of the penalty area compared to 4 for Zim, but they're still in with a chance of getting a point or getting a win.
Yep, those 19 shots still need to be converted. The conversion rates for the Egyptians need to go a little bit higher, but super excited indeed. As you mentioned, Tawanda, he's one of those players that also enjoy those 1v1 situations, successful dribbles as well. Hopefully he can really add another one for the Zimbabweans.
Yeah, 3 goals in 11 international games so far, and of course scored that goal against Nigeria. And Uyo, great ball to the far post, should have delivered. Zizou was there, and he had to keep that down, couldn't steer it low enough to make it 2-1. Look at that for a cross. Wonderful work there from Adel down to Hamdi, and the delivery, he got past his man, ghosted in behind Fabish. It was there for the taking. It needs to be delivered.
Should have done better, Zizou. The coach knows he should have done better. How many of these crosses and these headers are they going to miss? They have to convert at least one. Comes from the far post, unmarked, he should have really converted.
Yeah, that was a great scoring opportunity there for the Pharaohs as they completely push forward once again. You talk about wave after wave. Adel picking it up, nicely done. Can't keep the ball in, still in play, does really well. There's the delivery again at far post and headed away in the penalty box. I thought it went over the line. It's going to be a goal kick. It looked pretty obvious to me. And the final conclusion is yes, it is. There we go. Over the line. Linesman finally raised his flag. Ibrahim Adel, the 24-year-old, plays in United Arab Emirates for Al Jazeera. Getting his chance to shine here on the big stage. Got the fighting, the battling, Marmoush. Whoa, how about that for a clinical piece of defensive work from Tekwara. Strong work. Zizou gets Egypt working once again. The delivery comes over. Wonderful, sterling, tidy up work at the back from Zimbabwe. That's going to be a foul surely there from Abdel Salem Hossam. Just getting in the way of Bond. Bond doing well. Gets there, protects the ball, lifts and puffs up his chest so that he's protecting it. It's great work, and he'll cause problems for the two centre-backs constantly. As we take a look at Mario Marinicha, will be very happy with this performance so far. But it's not a done deal yet, Amanda. There's still a lot of football to be played, 15 minutes plus, the extra minutes thrown onto the pile.
Absolutely, and that demands a high level of concentration. That is for Zimbabwe. They can't say that they are in the finish line, have to get through it first. But of course, the Egyptians applying so much more pressure because there's 3 points at stake.
And of course, in this very complicated group, which is with, I can see your reaction there, fist pumping the air with Bafana, of course, getting a 2-1 win over Angola. Angola will bite back. There is no doubt about that. The Palencias Negras will 2 disallowed goals as well that went to VAR, and the fact is that there's lots of football to be played in this group. It's going to go to the wire. Top 2 teams and the 4 best third-place teams across the groups will, of course, proceed through to the round of 16. It's a free kick here for Zimbabwe. Danger. No one's reacting to that, and easily dealt with. Adel picks it up. Marmoush, the right side, plenty of players moving into position. Zizou gets the ball. He's got Hani Salobi looking to try and find a bit of space as well. Lofted ball over to the left-hand side. Adel picks it up. He's got an overlap if he wants. Decides to use Maziko. There's a shot coming in. It takes a bit of a touch there, dealt with there by Ruby. And Maruma Gallant's player. Just seeing that coming, I think, if you can see the ball coming, you can most definitely get in the way and stop the shot from getting through. It's when there's a lot of traffic in between you and the player taking the shot. Good ball, great delivery. Salah hits it high, unable to get it on target. Perfect through ball. You can see what they were trying to do there.
Yeah, nice ball at the top. Look at where Mo Salah's starting position, running onto that ball, running diagonal towards the left-hand side and then trying to bring it back to the right. It's quite difficult to execute, but Mo Salah with his quality tries and fancies his chance, just blowing it over the bar.
I mean, come on, he's only scored 188 goals in 302 appearances, for Liverpool. I mean, a bunch of those goals have been like that. Come on, you know that. We haven't talked about national level, have we? Come on. Fabish. Free kick. And a chance again for Zimbabwe. Got to be careful not to race too quickly off their line behind the defensive wall that's been set up. That's a good header from Bod. No one lurking on the edge of the penalty box. Dealt with, diffused, and smashed away. just to clear the danger. Hamdi Fati with Mo Salah giving the ball to Takwara. Egypt being held by Zimbabwe. Great result for Zimbabwe if it finishes like this. And any kind of a point to get your campaign off to a flying start is brilliant. You look at what they've done. They've won 3 games in 15 played. They've lost 10 and drawn 2 out of the 15. So they would love to get themselves, a solid start. And a point against the most successful team in Africa would be brilliant. Zizou goes out wide. Salah, Hadi, Salah into the penalty box. Oh, he's trying to get the ball back to Marmoush. It was too many Zim players there. Hani picks it up. Lovely touch to Zizou. Great pass, great vision. Pharaohs moving forward, out to the left side they go. Collected by Hamdi, down into the corner. Is the danger, Adel. Oh, he picks it up. Will he go for the shot? It's a rocket that takes a deflection and flies wide. But danger looking. Like the way that Adel's working, understood how he can make that pass, run off it, find a bit of space, and he used his skill to get around there. There was no deflection, of course. It's just a goal kick, but didn't connect as well as he should have.
Yeah, but he's showing great movements, great mobility in and around those areas. He's actually underlapping most of the time, which gives them another option, unexpected from the Zimbabweans, because they're not really tracking the players. They're relying a lot more in making sure that they stay in the defensive block and keep it as low as possible.
Yeah. And the constant communication between these Zimbabwe players is making it very important for them in defense, but they have conceded. And look at this for a one-man show. Take some of that, Washington Arubi. That's what he's saying. Omar Marmoush with the roof rocket.
That's what you expect from players, quality players like Marmoush, to really step up. When you talk about big match temperaments, you're talking about players like Marmoush that can really sort of ease the load from the likes of Mo Salah. Of course, you still want to see a Mo Salah getting a lot more involved.
Those fans enjoyed that magical moment. And it looks like Hamdi, the Pyramids FC player, is going to have to receive a little bit of treatment. And you can see that Ahmed Fatou of Zamalek could be coming on to replace him. And it looks like it's the case. Straight change of positions with the last 9 minutes to play. And there he is, Fatou. He's the Zamalek playing his 7th match for Egypt, 7th cap for Egypt. Former ENPPI player Smoha playing in the Egyptian Premier League, that have seen a little change in power, isn't it, recently, with Pyramids FC becoming the continental champions.
Yeah.
For the very first time in the small amount of time that they've existed. It's been just over 10 years now. Like probably one of the finest team logos in the world. And also winning the Super Cup by beating RS Berkane of Morocco 1-0.
And they're not on their way.
Fiston Mayele scoring that goal, of course. Whoa.
Are they not on their way to the Club World Cup?
Well, the Club World Cup, they will, because they qualified. So, yes, you're absolutely right. Wow. It's not just yet, though, is it? We've got a few years before we start.
But what's quite interesting for me is that the African leagues are starting to attract more of these quality players, and it's becoming so much more competitive. I mean, you look at Yanga, it's Pyramids. Yep. It's quite unpredictable now. It used to be Al Ahly back in those days, but it's quite unpredictable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's looking very interesting as well. More clubs getting more attention, more players. There's, of course, more money going in as well. But the whole infrastructure, the Botola Pro in Morocco, is a very slick operation with some wonderful teams that are playing. As the foul is committed there once again, there's Hamdi Fati just hauling down the captain. Marvellous Nakamba.
Yeah. Nakamba has really indeed displayed a marvelous 83 minutes. Him and Fabish in that midfield doing the dirty work, making sure that they keep things tight. But once they regain that ball possession, the likes of Sendami, they were the ones who were the first reference.
They still have to try and get a bit more possession if they want to try and get themselves those shots, because at the moment it's second half has been very much all about Egypt, but those rare opportunities can trigger goal scoring opportunities as we see them moving forward once again. The danger, the Zoo, the ball comes back, there's the shot, Zizou's shot, and again, how many Zimbabwe players are back behind the ball? I think that's what you've got to look at. They have worked so hard, and they probably doubled the amount of, kilometers ran than their Egyptian counterparts, just because they're all really filling up that penalty box to make sure that they're all defending valiantly, and that's what they've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think players like Jalai have really sacrificed themselves from their positions to really help in defence.
There's Mo Salah can't get himself past that man Takwara. Lovely touch, dealing with it with panache. Jonah Fabish. He's pushed it a little bit too close to Hamdi Fati. Tidies it up, just back in his own half. Just unable to race and take that ball forward. It is, of course, Zimbabwe on the attack. There's a squared ball. There's the shot. It's a great shot coming in there, and why not? I talked about the danger of Chiroa. That's what he can do. And first of all, you can see that it's Omar Mamouche who just unable to control the ball, pinched, and then that shot coming from Chiroa. Of the Egyptian and the Zimbabwe FA, and very hypnotizing encounter here with Zimbabwe holding Egypt. Player down. Salad as well tries to thread the ball through. And again, it's a little bit frustrating because the balls are just getting stopped, and it's not just from the Zimbabwe defenders, it's actually from their own players on that occasion with Mamouche, as we saw on that occasion. There's Adel. That's the bit of contact there that just hauled down Jalai. Bit of contact with the head, of course, as he went down.
It's extension of the elbow onto the face. Once again, once you go up for those aerial duels to compete for that header, yes, you can use your arms, but once it overstretches into the opposition's face, then it becomes dangerous.
Look at these Warriors. They're going ballistic, and they can be happy. They can celebrate, because this is wonderful to see. We know that everybody back in Zimbabwe will be having an absolute blast watching this, because, this is great. This is great to see. And this is what the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations is all about. We've seen, lots of stories, over the years, but the fans really make this super special.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got a change here, I think, before the referee gets the ball rolling. And he's going to make way, isn't he, Emmanuel Jalai? Going to make sense. And replaced by Tawanda Maswan Ise, the 23-year-old player. Plays not for Scotland FC in Zimbabwe, but Motherwell in Scotland. 14 caps for the midfielder, former Leicester City player as well. Last couple of minutes of the 90 before we have an extra few minutes thrown on top. There won't be too much added time, I guess, Amanda. A couple of moments where players have been treated, but maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but I can't see it being more than that. Plenty of time to score a goal. We haven't seen Zimbabwe push forward and unleash a shot or two in the Maybe we'll see that in the last few minutes as they try and pinch and poach the ball in the midfield. It's been won back there by Egypt as they go down the left-hand side again. The danger is Fatu. The ball back to Fati, going through the middle. Aldel trying to get the touch. Oh, as the attempt to try and thread the ball through to Marmoush doesn't happen. They collect and push forward with a quick counter. Collected on the left side. That's a good ball. Picked up by Marmoush. Marmoush over to the right-hand side. Mo Salah into the side. Azizu with the shot. It goes high. Can't keep it down.
Yep.
And a glaring opportunity once again for the player Zizou, the Ahli midfielder, winger, call him what you like. You can play in all sorts of positions, but a header, and now that shot, unable to keep them low enough. And the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, they're watching on, of course. And into the last minute we go. Ball going out for a throw-in.